Hey folks, welcome to another edition of Fishing Saskatchewan. Today we're on Last Mountain Lake and we've got with us a couple of very special guests.
Yeah, today we have Darwin Collins and Terry Uwashina, Sask Walleye Trail tournament anglers, and they're kind enough to take us out and show us a few techniques for some walleye.
Yeah, the guys are going to be fishing a tournament this weekend, so we're just out here doing some pre-fishing with them, finding out some techniques and some different tips and whatnot. They're going to talk to us a little bit about tournament fishing and things that a guy can expect going in.
Right on, let's get at her.
All right, let's do it, guys. You're watching Fishing Saskatchewan, brought to you in part by The Fishing Hole, North Sask Farm Equipment, and Alumacraft.
And this would be the northern boundary for the tournament.
Right here?
Yeah, well, just up a few hundred yards here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty popular area.
Currently, the Walleye Trail has close to 350 members. Anyone can sign up to be a member of the Walleye Trail, and they're eligible for all the prizes at every tournament. The start of the trail is in Elbow, Saskatchewan, and that's the first stop on the trail. And then we go to Regina Beach, Sask Landing, and then Fort Capel, and then Rowan's Ravine. Typically, a payout for a tournament is $10,000. There are big fish pools in the tournaments. There are tournament within a tournament at some tournaments, so it could get up to close to $500, but the basic entries are around $400.
We're finally getting a little bit better size anyway.
Yeah, maybe we'll
Grab the net out.
grab the net.
All right. There he is. That's a nice walleye.
Double header.
Oh, Darwin's got one too. You gonna put him in the net at the same time? Nope. Yeah. 1, 2. Nice work, guys.
Synchronized fishing.
We started 12 years ago probably fishing together, and it's just, you know, it's not like we're in the money every tournament. It's far from that, but I think we just, you know, we kind of work to each other's strengths, and we've both got a lot of patience. And you know, you see other teams out there that maybe, you know, don't necessarily get along and they get mad, and I mean that would be a short you know, that'd be a short life. I could tell you, you know, you deal with work and everything, and you come out here to have fun, right? So I think that's what been the key to our success. Absolutely. Yeah, longevity, I guess. So.
Yeah, I've got one on.
How's it feel?
A
little
decent, a little better. Better than the first few I got, but I don't think it's gonna be anything above and beyond. Being that 20 to, wants to come over here, 20 to 25, or 20 to 21.
Put her in the net.
Nothing. Yeah, we might as well. Oh, there we go. We got another decent one on the boat. Oh, you got one too? Okay. I'll let you handle that. Oh yeah. Our turn for a double header. You want to put them on the stick or?
Yeah, let's have a.
Okay.
Like to know what we're.
Sure. Okay. I gotta be around 20 again, I think. Just under 19.
In your tournament career, during tournament times, how many 30-inch walleye do you think you've managed to put in a boat?
Like in tournaments?
In tournaments.
Oh boy. I don't know, over the years I'd say maybe, I'm kind of guessing here, but I'd say 20.
Wow. A lot of guys would be looking for that 130-inch fish in their entire lifetime.
Yeah. Well, we fished, I mean, we fished Bodies Water Lake, Last Mountain Lake here that we're on today, and then also Nipawin, you know, the river up Tobin Lake. So real good walleye spots that you can get those fish. They're common. I mean, it's always you know, tough to get them on and then fight them in a tournament. A little stressful, but it's fun. I think, you know, over the years, you know, when you first start, I can remember, you know, you get a big fish on and you're shaking like a leaf, right? But over the years, it just, you know, it's like anything. It just becomes kind of second hand after a while. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get a big fish on anytime and your knees still shake, right? But
Yeah.
I did, yeah. Probably about a 20-inch fish, I'd say, Stephen.
Nice.
20-incher, I think. Yeah, 20. Oh. So it's 20 and a half. That's a nice fish.
That is a nice fish. So in most of these tournaments, like the ones in the Last Mountain, you're allowed a certain amount under 21 and a half, and then a couple over 21 and a half. So that would be perfect for that underfish.
That's right. That's a good slot, I think, anywhere. Most people would argue. 3 pound fish.
You ever fish minnows this time of year?
You know, not till a little later in the season.
A little later, yeah.
But we'll pull a lot of cranks in the fall.
Yeah.
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 There's a few spots up here we noticed yesterday. There's the grass coming up, which makes it a little tougher to crank because you're picking up a lot of.
Always popping through there, yeah. There we go. That's better.
Today's ice anglers need to be efficient, and HT offers a huge selection of premium ice tackle designed to meet virtually every application. Whether you fish bluegills, crappie, perch, stocked trout, whitefish, walleyes, pike, or lake trout, HT has what it takes to make you consistently successful.
Nothing beats ice fishing. Nothing.
Out of high school, I had a neighbor that fished tournaments competitively, and he was one of the founders of the Walleye Trail. And he invited me to fish a tournament because his partner could not make a tournament. And after the first tournament I fished, I was hooked. And I've been doing it since '99.
I grew up fishing walleye all my life. Basically, my dad got me into it at a very young age when I was 6 and 7 years old. And I started guiding when I was, 12, 13 years old up in Delaron Lake. And I've always just loved it and and I also love competition, so the two went hand in hand.
Well, I'm a competitive person, and I always loved fishing, and it just sort of came hand in hand. Going out to a lake, and then with your dad at first, you're betting $1 for the biggest fish, or $1 for the most fish. So that just led into your buddies going out fishing, $1 for the biggest fish, $1 for the most fish, and then it comes into your, when you get into a boat, in a competitive boat. Now it's fishing for bigger dollars, but it's competitive and it's friendly, right? So we're fishing for fun, but we're also fishing to beat the other guy. And that's what I enjoy about competitive fishing. So
I think the thing that drew me to the field of being competitive in a walleye tournament was my competitiveness in other sports. I really liked football and baseball and competing in general. And when the fishing part of it came into play, I decided that, I'm gonna give that a try. I like to compete and I love to fish.
And I figured what a better mix.
Well, it gets the adrenaline going. There's no doubt about it. At certain times, sometimes a big walleye comes unexpectedly and it's sort of a reward, but when you're under the gun and you need a big walleye and you end up getting it, then there's a lot of pressure on to make sure you hook it and get it in the boat. Seeing it alongside the boat doesn't count.
Oh.
Son of Oh, that stings.
Might have been the best fish of the morning.
I think so, yeah. It was good fish, good hit. And now we retie.
So you find lighting conditions affect what you're gonna do on any given day?
Well, yeah, like color-wise. If it's nice and sunny like it is today, you know, if you're running cranks, you'll probably run silvers, golds, kind of the shiny colors. And then if it's cloudy water, or if it's dirty water or cloudy day, probably the, you know, the glow colors, like, or the brighter oranges or greens, chartreuses. Yeah. Little one again.
Figure another perch or a small walleye?
Small walleye. Oh, it came off. Came off. That's a better fish.
Nice. You know, people talk about walleye not being a great fighting fish. I tend to disagree.
Yeah. Same. Little one.
Very nice.
Yeah. Perfect.
Now, if you were looking to eat a fish from Last Mountain Lake,
Yeah.
that's a nice prime candidate.
19.
19?
Yeah.
Nice.
Could be a good slot fish.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fish.
Right on the mark, eh?
Good fish.
Yeah, nice, healthy, chunky.
Yeah.
No worse for wear.
Eager to get back. Good stuff. Okay, so Terry, we just brought in another fish, and we've done this a few times today. We pull the board out and put a measurement on the fish as we're bringing them in. Now, obviously, that's an important tool the day of the tournament, but you guys are using that a lot pre-fishing too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you want to make sure, you know, the fish you're catching, determine if they're in the under zone or in the over zone, right? So, and you keep track in terms of your waypoints, marking slot fish versus overs.
Right.
So, yeah, we use the board. Just want to make sure, especially when you get those nicer fish, right? A 22-inch fish just over the just over the zone, upper zone, is obviously not a great fish to catch. 21.5 is ideal, right?
That's so that one we've got a 20 and a half. So that's getting close to the size that you're looking for on a tournament day for those under zone fish.
Yeah, absolutely. 20.5 with that type of girth would be definitely a nice fish. That's probably a 3.5, 3 3/4 pound fish. So take those every day,
Definitely
any day.
a good chunky fish. Well, and that's the other thing too that you got to keep in mind is a lot of these tournaments have different rules and regulations about what fish you can keep and what you can't keep, and how many of each size zone.
Yeah.
So having that ruler there is a really important tool for any tournament angler.
Absolutely, yeah. Having a good board, accurate, making sure that you check it to the tournament's board, because theirs may be slightly different. So you want to make sure, you know, they go by their board, not my board. So you want to make sure that you check it and know exactly what it reads.
And that's the thing. In some tournaments, a quarter-inch difference could end up being a huge penalty.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very good. Hey folks, thanks again for joining us. Another great episode of Fishing Saskatchewan.
Yeah, we'd really like to give special thanks to Terry Iwashina and Darwin Collins for coming out and showing us where and how to catch these fish. We tried a lot of methods. Some worked, some didn't work so great, but I think we narrowed it down and got onto some really nice fish.
Guys, I hope that the rest of the pre-fish goes well. Good luck in the tournaments, and thanks a lot for coming out with us today.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely. Until next time, we'll see you on the water.
You have to be diversified. You cannot just always use the same method. If you have 3 or 4 good methods, then you have more chances of being able to catch the fish that are there.
I think the biggest tip I give is patience is a big thing in walleye fishing. They're finicky fish. Pay attention to the weather is another really, really big thing that I do a lot. And less is more. Lighter tackle typically is better for walleye fishing.
I think the biggest tip I can give anybody is learn the body of water you're fishing on. Get as much information that you can from whether it be media, whether it be magazines, your local tackle shop, but be prepared when you get to that lake that you know what's going on and where those fish will be.
I think that people have to make sure that they bring everything with them, because there's certain times of the year, certain times of tournaments that call for different things. So I think you've got to be very versatile if you want to be competitive at this. So make sure you know how to jig, how to rig, how to crankbait, how to slip float. And I think if you learn all the aspects of walleye fishing, I think that'll help you a lot.
Be more refined to the details. If somebody's using 6-pound line, maybe use 4-pound line instead. If somebody's using a 3/8 ounce weight, try using a 1/4 ounce weight. Just refine your technique a little bit more. Make sure your hooks are sharp, make sure your line's in good shape, make sure you always had top quality equipment, making sure you got the right rod for the right type of technique. Don't skimp on any corners and you'll be successful.
Fishing Saskatchewan, brought to you in part by The Fishing Hole. Get hooked at The Fishing Hole. North Sask Farm Equipment, Highway 16 North Battleford. Come see us for all your recreational and agricultural needs. And Alumacraft, built by fishermen for fishermen.